Singing with a neutral larynx. Why is that so important? I know you may have heard lowering the larynx is a thing, but let me talk about what I mean today by a neutral larynx. Hi and welcome to today's video. In case you don't know me yet, my name is Freya, professional singer and vocal coach from Germany, and I want to talk about the larynx today. It's the creature that sits right here in your voice box. It is responsible for being able to make sound. It works together with the vocal cords, and as a matter of fact, the vocal cords are really attached to it, so it's a really important part. What is widely misunderstood is where should it move when you sing? It is widely spread, even in classical music, that you should lower the larynx when you sing higher. Here's the thing, yes and no. When you sing higher, the larynx naturally lowers. You can test this by just putting your fingers on here and just starting on the bottom of your range, just very lightly, don't push, just to feel where it's at. And then you start singing low, going high, you will feel it move. Yeah. Of course, I meant to say you will start with a higher larynx and then it will actually lower as you go higher. Maybe that's what I said. But the reason for it being is it needs to naturally lower because it actually needs to lengthen the vocal cords. It needs to create more space so that you can actually create those higher frequencies. This is a normal movement that happens. However, when I talk about a neutral larynx, I really talk about not pushing it artificially. So you don't want to put an extra push beyond what you need to do naturally. When you actually lower the larynx beyond what it needs to be, you create a very darkened, covered sound, and it doesn't actually create a lot of nice, bright overtones. It sounds more like this. A lot of times that is used to create more volume, and while that is a really quick fix to get louder, it is not the healthiest thing. Same with opera singing. When you're a female, a lot of times people teach you to go so for me, that is actually not a voice color that reflects a neutral larynx. The reason why a neutral larynx is so important is so that it can move freely. When you again put your fingers here very lightly, when you speak with a lot of expression, and then you go, hi, yeah, that is really amazing. Do you see how the larynx moves? You can even see it move. It moves up and down, even as I speak. That is because as you're shaping different sounds, all your consonants and all your vowels, you raise and lower your pitch. Even when you're speaking, your larynx moves the entire time. If you're a man, you're going to see it so clearly without having to put your fingers here because it's protruding a lot more. For women, it's a little harder to see and to feel the larynx. It's not as big, so you just have to kind of put your fingers on a little bit. But when you watch a guy talk, or yourself, if you're a guy in the mirror, you will see as you talk, the larynx just keeps moving. It's just playing around here. And when you artificially lower the larynx and you just push it down a lot over the entirety of, phrase that you're singing, what you're doing is you're actually constricting it. And constriction is never a good thing. We want to leave it free. You don't want to confuse the larynx with a pharyngeal space. Now the pharynx is what comes right, it starts right above the vocal cords and it continues on all the way back to your soft palate. I would consider the soft palate to still be a part of the pharyngeal space. It's everything that is back here. It's very important. That's what you do want to open, and that's when you want to play around to ideally resonate, to really direct the sound waves to make space to where it can have really brilliant overtones. And that's how you can really decide, do you want to mix in more nasal resonance? Do you want more chesty resonance? Where do you want it to be? Do you want it to more in your mask, in your forehead, or do you want to cut it off a little bit to where it has a little bit more nasal quality, which you could all do on purpose. However, that is not the larynx, that is the pharynx, and it's often confused, and that's why I teach a neutral larynx. You want to give the freedom so that the larynx can continue to move. Otherwise, you will experience strain, and it is so hard to know the difference between the larynx and the pharynx. This is a wide open pharynx, but this is a lowered larynx. So very distinctive sound difference, but a very important difference to know how to feel. Is it this or is it this? Very important. Thank you so much for watching today. Let me know in the comments, do you know the difference between your larynx and your pharynx whenever it moves? And what is your take on lowering or raising the larynx? Do you hear that in other singers when they do it? Do you do it maybe? Do you think you do it and you don't want to do it? Let me know in the comments what is going on with your larynx. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who also needs to know about a neutral larynx. If you want more awesome free resources to train your voice, you can go to my website. I have a free 5-day belting challenge, and I also have a free 7 days to perfect support course. That is the foundation for everything. Support is always important. Have a great day, and I hope to see you next time. Always keep a song in your heart and always keep on singing.